Okay guys, welcome. This is an interesting topic we're going to be talking about today. Alrighty then. Alright guys, let me scroll to the top. Welcome to my live video. Give this video a thumbs up when you guys get in here. Also, when you guys get in here, subscribe, right? I am producing quality content for you that is not available anywhere else. Subscribe just for that fact. Now, many of you guys may or may not have seen the new Matrix. I didn't see the new Matrix, but did you know that the Matrix was stolen from a black woman? I bet you did not know that. So I'm gonna read this article, and I think I'll put the link below when it's all said and done. And the woman's name is Sophia Stewart, and apparently the Wachowski brothers stole the Matrix from her. I did not know that. So, I don't know, it kind of changes how I see the Matrix now that I know it's stolen. But let's continue. Somehow the Wachowski brothers and Warner Brothers lost the case because they failed to answer the amended complaint within 30 days. And later, the Terminator defendant admitted to Judge Margaret Moreau, the second judge on my California case, that they had indeed stolen the Terminator from me 18 years ago. So Warner Brothers and the Wachowski brothers stole the Terminator and the Matrix from this black woman. And it also doesn't make any sense to steal from people for the simple fact that you could just pay the person so that you could use their script, but you know, people out here stealing. Okay, on April 7th, 1999, they offered me a settlement and I turned it down. I rejected their $5 to $7 million offer simply because they wanted to buy my copyrights, which are worth billions of dollars. And they are worth billions of dollars. The Matrix is a billion-dollar franchise, in case you guys didn't know and you forgot the hype when the first movie came out in 1999. And then The Matrix, I think it's Reloaded was the second one, also did extremely well. All of them did well, but the first two did extremely well in the box office. So I'm glad she didn't settle for $5 to $7 million because, you know, lawyers don't work for free. She would have had to pay her lawyers at least $3 or $4 million, and if she was lucky at the end, she would have maybe come out with like $2 million. So I'm glad that she didn't sell for so low. I went straight to the FBI and filed a criminal copyright infringement complaint about the 8 defendants in my case. The FBI did their investigation and came back and gave me files and evidence proving I was telling the truth. But what a lot of people don't know is those files and evidence were covered up because the people who were supposed to protect me, which is the U.S. Attorney's Office, took the hush money not to prosecute the defendants. Welcome to the video, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. I see I have 3 viewers. Give this video a thumbs up. This is why I had to go to court for damages against the Wachowski brothers, Warner Brothers, James Cameron, and Gail Ann Hurd. I didn't want them to escape injustices, and I felt they needed to go to jail because the industry shouldn't steal from people. And they shouldn't steal from people because they have more than enough money to pay people. It doesn't make any sense to steal. Then you have to go and get lawyers and then pay this on the back end. It's like you pay one way or the other. We always had great diversity and great movies because the industry brought stories from the people. I wanted that tradition to carry on, and that's why I went to the U.S. Attorney's Office to stop the stealing from the people. But the case fell through, and I filed my own case, being that I was a paralegal. And the first judge on the case was historical. His name was Terry Hatter Jr. My case was the last case that the late Johnny Cochran had called for. I made history, and Johnny told me that Judge Hatter was with Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. He said Hatter would bend over backwards to make sure that you get justice. Let me scroll down and keep reading. Okay, sorry, scrolling, guys. Okay. When I saw Judge Hatter, I asked him to give me a RICO case against the defendants, and he told me if I could answer 20 questions, he would serve RICO on the defendants. I answered the 20 questions and got my wish. They knew they couldn't beat the RICO, so Warner Brothers and Fox had their attorney, Bruce Isaacs, to call me and try to buy out the RICO. They wanted to pay me to drop my RICO case against them because the Wachowski brothers, Warner Brothers, James Cameron, and Gale Ann Hurd didn't have any copyrights of ownerships to The Matrix or The Terminator. Did she write The Terminator as well? Yes, she did. Welcome to the video, Eddie. Like this video. It's unfortunate, and it's not the first time actually that Hollywood has stolen from people. Fable Lily, welcome, welcome. It's not the first time that Hollywood has stolen from Black artists, young artists. A lot of you guys, you might send your script to these major Hollywood studios, hoping and wishing that they will help you to produce your script, turn it into a film. But unfortunately, this is a dirty business, and there are people who steal. And we are reading about one of these cases right now. All right, where was I? Plus, they already admitted to Judge Morrow that they had stolen the source of work from me. And I have all the documents to prove everything that I'm saying in this interview. They stole from multiple Black artists. Yes, they did, and that is not okay. Hollywood is a dirty business, folks. So now the interviewer asked her, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment? Sophia Stewart says, it's the fact that in spite of all the injustice that was done to me, I was able to prevail over these defendants with a default judgment worth billions of dollars. Pay her. Pay her what you owe her. Even though I suffered, I accomplished a great historical deed by becoming the copyright owner of The Matrix and the Terminator franchises, which include all the derivatives that were made from my book. On June 25th, 2014, I will finally be awarded the billions of dollars that's been denied to me over the years. What's the worst advice anyone has ever given you? Okay, artists, listen to this. Listen to this. Some people, including attorneys sometimes are playing for the other side when they're supposed to be defending you. Just putting that out there. Some people, including attorneys, told me that I should be quiet, not to do any interviews speaking out against the people who stole my source of work, that made The Matrix and the Terminator movies. In fact, if I had taken their horrible advice, I wouldn't have prevailed. Another bad advice that I've noticed is people telling people to use a poor man's copyright over filing proper federal copyright. Oh yeah, always get official copyrights, guys. Thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much. That's the worst advice that anyone can give to anybody because a poor man's copyright will not protect you in a court of law. Your intellectual property is just as valuable as your physical property, if not more. Protect your source of work. So copyright, she goes on here to tell you guys the importance of copywriting your scripts, which is very, very important. So, the new Matrix is not as good as the first one. And I have a couple of theories for this. First of all, we know now that the Matrix was stolen. And that's not okay. I don't think it's okay to steal people's work. If you see something in this woman's work that you like, all you had to do was pay her, and then that was it. That's all they had to do was pay her. But instead, I feel like they came out here and stole. That's the best way to put it. They came out here and they stole. And I'm glad that she is now getting the billions of dollars that she deserves, because this is her work and she deserves it. Let me see here. Another reason why I think the new Matrix isn't so good, you know, aside from the fact that they can't steal from this woman's ideas anymore, is because it's so many years later. And when you have a gap in between movies, that does tend to happen. And also, it's called sequelitis, right? Where the sequels just don't tend to be as good as the first movies. And of course, they'll continue to make sequels because the sequels make them money. But there you have it. And I know a lot of people were saying, oh, it's not true. She wasn't awarded money. Because, you know, they'll put out articles because somebody said, oh, they saw on a blog. People need to understand when it comes to blogs, anybody can create a blog. I can create a blog. You can create a blog. None of us have met or spoken to this woman. But if this person actually did an interview with her, then they have it from the source. And if she says that they stole from her, then I really do believe her. And she has a book here. I'm actually going to get her book and I'm going to compare it to The Matrix so I can see the similarities there for myself. But if she says that her work was stolen, it was. There is an article on here saying that she was not awarded any money. However, this person did not personally speak to this woman, and I don't believe that the details of her settlement are public knowledge, so it's like, how would she know that? I feel like sometimes people don't want to look bad. I feel like Warner Brothers, the Wachowski brothers, I feel like Hollywood does not want to look bad. So what they do is that they hire, you know, this is a tactic that, and I can't prove it, but I feel like they probably hired this person to write this article saying she was not awarded any money so that they wouldn't look like they stole, when she indeed won the case and this person interviewed her. And if she was running around telling people she won the case and they stole from her and they didn't, well, then they could then counter sue her. It's just that simple. And she's been saying this for years. So I believe her. 2014 was a long time ago, so they could have easily came out and said that this is not true. So I believe her that they did steal from her, because Warner Brothers would have, you know, these people are lawyer happy. They would have immediately gotten a lawyer to try to sue this woman for, you know, defamation of character or something like that. So they had to pay her. And I'm happy they had to pay her, because sometimes these stories don't tend to have happy endings, but I'm happy that they had to pay her billions, because her work is worth billions, and I'm glad she didn't settle. And if we've learned anything from this, it's the importance of copyrighting our work. And be careful, guys, when you send in your scripts to these Hollywood studios. I know a lot of people are young and they're hopeful that somebody's going to help them, but sometimes people steal people's ideas. So subscribe to this channel. We're going to be talking more about this.